The term GOAT has been diluted. In an era of seasonal hype, we've forgotten that true greatness isn't measured in power levels or trending hashtags. It's measured in impact, legacy, and consistency. As the authority settling this debate, I've analyzed the data and filtered the noise. We are ranking the 100 characters who didn't just appear in anime, they defined the medium. From tactical masterminds who operate with the precision of a high-frequency circuit to emotional powerhouses that carry the weight of entire worlds. This is Part 1, 100 through 51. Lock in. This is the definitive ranking. Tier 1, the New Jin Disruptors 100. Inosuke Hashibira, Demon Slayer. Starting at the foundation of raw instinct, Inosuke is the high-entropy variable of his series. He ignores established combat logic for pure, chaotic efficiency. He's the physical manifestation of an unsmoothed signal, unpredictable, jagged, but undeniably powerful. 99. Moomin Rider, One Punch Man. GOAT status doesn't require a high power output. Moomin Rider represents the internal resistance of the human spirit. In a world of gods, his courage is the only thing that remains a constant. 98. Denji, Chainsaw Man. He disrupted the shonen protagonist archetype. He doesn't want to be king or Hokage, he wants a sandwich and a connection. His raw honesty is his greatest weapon. 97. Megumi Fushiguro, Jujutsu Kaisen. Think of Megumi as a system architect. He doesn't just fight, he maps out the battlefield using his shadows. His tactical processing power allows him to adapt to special-grade threats that should, by all laws of physics, delete him instantly. 96. Speedwagon, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. The ultimate support system. He is the bridge between the supernatural and the human. Without Speedwagon's foundational legacy, the Joestar line would have crashed in the first generation. 95. Kanao Tsuyuri, Demon Slayer. The beauty of her character lies in her input-output transition. She started as a machine that only moved when prompted by a coin flip, evolving into a self-governing leader who chose her own path. 94. Genos, One Punch Man. The Demon Cyborg. His design is a masterclass in mechanical aesthetics, but his GOAT status comes from his relentless pursuit of a ceiling he can never reach as long as Saitama exists. 93. Hiei, Yu Yu Hakusho. The blueprint for every edgy rival you love today. Before Sasuke, there was the Dragon of the Darkness Flame. He set the standard for speed-based combat and hidden power. 92. Mugen, Samurai Champloo. Style personified. He treats sword fighting like a breakdance routine, pure kinetic energy that defies traditional martial arts architecture. 91. Reigen Arataka, Mob Psycho 100. The greatest social engineer in anime history. He has zero psychic power, yet he manages the world's strongest esper through pure charisma and mentorship logic. Tier 2. The Tactical Blueprints, 90 to 81. 90. Shinobu Kocho, Demon Slayer. You have to appreciate Shinobu's optimization. She lacks the physical torque to decapitate a demon, so she modified her kit. She's a chemical engineer in a world of swordsmen, using toxicology to achieve a 100% kill rate through precision rather than brute force. 89. Bulma, Dragon Ball. The most important human in shonen history. She built the radar, the ships, and the time machine. Without her technical R&D, the Saiyans would have stayed stuck on a dying planet. 88. Kenshin Himura, Rurouni Kenshin. The struggle between the weapon and the wanderer. He is a lethal blade trying to rewire his entire internal logic for peace after a life of slaughter. 87. Shikamaru Nara, Naruto. The king of logic gates. Shikamaru treats a battlefield like a complex circuit board. He identifies the bottleneck in his opponent's strategy and creates a bypass. With an IQ over 200, he's proof that strategy beats raw voltage every time. 86. Kurapika, Hunter x Hunter. He brought a contract to a fistfight. His Nen system is built on constraints and vows, the ultimate high-risk, high-reward engineering trade-off for absolute power. 85. Escanor, Seven Deadly Sins. The lion's sin of pride. He isn't just strong, he is the peak power of the series. When he's on screen, the power scaling isn't just broken, it's irrelevant. 84. Revi, Black Lagoon. Two Hands. The embodiment of dual-wielding chaos. She represents the darker side of free will in a world that has discarded morality. 83. Sinbad, Magi. A man who conquered 7 dungeons and built an empire. He is a high-frequency leader who can manipulate the flow of the entire world with terrifying charisma. 82. Saitama, One Punch Man. The satirical GOAT. He represents the zero-point energy of the universe. When you are the absolute ceiling, the only struggle left is finding meaning in the mundane. 81. Joseph Joestar, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. He doesn't win through strength, he wins through signal jamming. He predicts your next line, breaks your rhythm, and uses your own momentum against you. Tier 3. The Pillars of Philosophy, 80 to 71. 80. Lelouch v. Britannia, Code Geass. The ultimate system administrator. He hacked the world's political structure to install a better operating system. The Zero Requiem remains the most perfectly executed finale in anime history. 79. Makima, Chainsaw Man. The Fear of Control. She operates from the shadows like a background process you can't terminate. Her impact on the antagonist archetype is irreversible and bone-chilling. 78. Spike Spiegel, Cowboy Bebop. Whatever happens, happens. Spike is the analog soul in a digital future. He is the definition of effortless, jazz-fueled cool. 77. Zenitsu Agatsuma, Demon Slayer. He is the perfect step-up transformer. He stays at 0 voltage until he loses consciousness, then he outputs 100,000 volts in a single, lightning-fast strike. 76. Sano Miki Manjiro, Tokyo Revengers. The heavy burden of the invincible leader. He carries the weight of an entire generation on his shoulders while battling his own internal darkness. 75. Sanji, One Piece. The cook who fights with his feet because his hands are precision instruments for feeding people. His chivalry is his core safety protocol, even when it puts him at a disadvantage. 74. Yusuke Urameshi, Yu Yu Hakusho. The quintessential street fighter who realized that protecting his world was worth the spirit gun's recoil. He's raw, honest, and legendary. 73. Senku Ishigami, Dr. Stone. 10 billion% GOATED. Senku is the representative for the scientific method. He didn't use magic to save the world, he used the periodic table. He rebuilt civilization from ground zero using science as his only blueprint. 72. Ryuk, Death Note, the spectator GOAT. He proves that sometimes the most dangerous thing in the universe is a god who is simply bored. 71. Kakashi Hatake, Naruto, the copy ninja. He is the universal interface of the shinobi world. He can read, analyze, and replicate almost any signal he sees through the Sharingan. Tier 4. The Mechanical Masters, 70 to 61. 70. Toji Fushiguro, Jujutsu Kaisen, the Sorcerer Killer. He is a null point in a world of energy. He proved that if you optimize your physical hardware enough, cursed energy software becomes obsolete. 69. Shoto Todoroki, My Hero Academia, a dual-core processor of fire and ice. His journey is about reclaiming his own input after being programmed by a father he hated. 68. Kisuke Urahara, Bleach, the man who is always 3 steps ahead. If the Soul Society is a server, Urahara is the guy who wrote the source code and installed all the backdoors. 67. Thorfinn, Vinland Saga, the most profound character arc in modern anime. He went from a revenge-driven blade to a man who understands that he has no enemies. That is true strength. 66. Jiraiya, Naruto, the Toad Sage. He wasn't just a teacher, he was the data link between generations of heroes. His final mission was the ultimate sacrifice for the long-term goal of peace. 65. Tengen Uzui, Demon Slayer. Flashy, explosive, and technical. His musical score technique is an acoustic analysis of an opponent's combat rhythm. He turns a fight into a frequency he can dismantle. 64. Shogo Makishima, Psychopass, the man the system couldn't see. He represents the exception error in a perfectly controlled society, forcing everyone to question the nature of justice. 63. Yami Sukehiro, Black Clover. Surpass your limits. Yami is the overclock mentor. He pushes his squad until their systems are glowing red, then tells them to push even harder. 62. Kenpachi Zaraki, Bleach. Raw, unfiltered current. He doesn't need a transformer, he just wants to hit you with the full power of the grid. He is combat personified. 61. Nezuko Kamado, Demon Slayer. The demon who defied her own hardware programming. She was built to consume but chose to protect. She is the unbreakable soul of the Kamado family. Tier 5. The Command Center. 60 to 51. 60. Erwin Smith, Attack on Titan. The ultimate strategic commander. He treats soldiers like resources in a high-stakes calculation. His ability to maintain system stability while facing certain death is unmatched. He doesn't just lead, he commands the very air in the room. 59. Akane Tsunemori, Psychopass. She is the moral calibrator of a broken world. In a society governed by an algorithm, she remained the only human element capable of judging the system itself. Her mental fortitude is at maximum capacity. 58. Gon Freaks, Hunter x Hunter. Gon is raw, linear input. He doesn't have a filter, he just has an objective. That simple, unyielding logic makes him one of the most terrifyingly effective protagonists to ever exist. 57. Saber, Fate/Stay Night. The King of Knights. She represents regal integrity and a power output that can vaporize battlefields. She is the golden standard for the warrior monarch archetype. 56. Natsu Dragneel, Fairy Tale. A thermal engine powered by friendship and fire. He is the heart of his guild, proving that emotional heat can overcome any physical cooling system. 55. Edward Elric, Full Metal Alchemist. The Full Metal Alchemist. His entire life is a lesson in the law of equivalent exchange. He operates on the strict logic of alchemy. To obtain something, something of equal value must be lost. He is a genius who learned the limits of his own science. 54. Killua Zoldyck, Hunter x Hunter. From an assassin to a hero. Killua's Godspeed is the ultimate electric discharge. He processed his trauma, pulled out the needle of control, and became a lightning-fast protector with surgical precision. 53. Tanjiro Kamado, Demon Slayer. The purest signal in the series. Tanjiro's resilience is backed by a sense of empathy that shouldn't exist on a battlefield. He is the bridge between humans and demons, fighting with a heart that never glitches. 52. Alucard, Hellsing Ultimate, Unbounded Output. Alucard is what happens when you remove all safety limiters from a monster. He is the shadow that devours other shadows, operating with a terrifying, ancient authority. 51. Gintoki Sakata, Gintama, the White Demon. He has the widest dynamic range of any character. He can go from a lazy comedic failure to a legendary war hero in a single frame. He is the soul of versatility. That is the first 50. We've seen the scientists, the strategists, and the flashiest fighters in the game. But we haven't even touched the pillars. We haven't touched the characters who are so goated, they change the culture of the entire world. In part 2, we are entering the top 50. We're talking about the immortals, the ones who sit at the top of the power grid. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the conclusion to the definitive ranking.